David here with Figboot on Pens, back again with another review. Today I have something completely different for you. This is a little mini review of something I have received recently, which I have very much enjoyed using, and that would be a chair. More specifically, it's from a company by the name of OdinLake, and it is their Ergo Plus 743 model. If you recall, I recently, during my last Q&A video, discussed a chair from a different manufacturer. In complete transparency, I was in the market for two chairs and was looking for one for my office at work, and a member of the household wanted something new as well, and as luck would have it, I had two different companies reach out to me about reviewing their chairs. They were at two different price points. One was a bit more expensive than the other. I accepted both offers and figured that I would use the one I liked the most and then let the family member have the other. While the first chair I discussed was very nice, spoiler alert, the one I'm about to talk about is the one which made it to my office at work. Here's the chair I've had for several years at work. It has seen better days. The cover has been peeling off and I find little black pieces on the ground and all over my clothes. It was time for an upgrade. Over the years, I've gone through many office chairs in work or at home. When it's time for a new one, I'm typically trying to find the nicest chair I can for the lowest price possible. The chair I'm about to show you is at a bit of a higher price point, and I was curious at what a more expensive chair would bring to the table and if it would really be worth the additional expense. Okay, the chair arrived in this large box. Jenny is in the background wondering what's going on. I will say that everything was very well packed in here, and each of the pieces was boxed and padded or wrapped in bubble wrap. I have put together many office chairs, and sometimes it feels like all the parts are just haphazardly thrown in the box. That wasn't the case here. It was very well organized. A couple of things I liked that were included. I thought it was nice they included a pair of gloves. I thought it might make handling the small screws be difficult, but it worked out well. The user guide was easy to understand and everything was printed and pictured rather large. There was one aspect I felt could have been described a little bit better, but I'll get to that in a moment. Something small that I liked was that they printed which screws were in which compartment on the back side of the package, so you didn't find yourself opening up the wrong one. It's a small thing, but I appreciated that attention to detail. Another thing I appreciated, they always include an Allen wrench with these types of chairs, and it's typically just the L-shaped one. When I'm assembling a chair, it seems like I drop those things over and over again when I try to use them. With this chair, the wrench had this nice handle, and I did not drop it a single time, which is nice. There was one point in the assembly where it was a little tough to get the wrench where you needed it to be, but other than those two screws on the back, it was really easy to use this tool. There's an abundance of metal on this chair, which really makes it feel solid. The wheels are okay. They're not spectacular, but decent. For my last few chairs, I've purchased caster wheels like these, which I love, but at my office at work, I really don't do that much rolling around, so replacing those wasn't as important for me. The part where the base attaches to the back is very thick and a very solid piece of metal. Sometimes after having a chair for a while, everything gets a bit loose, but I don't foresee that happening with this chair. On the back, there is the company logo. And most importantly, it gives you the satisfaction of peeling off the plastic. Now, everything assembled very easily here, and this is the finished product. As you can see, this is a mesh chair. I typically purchase more pillowy chairs, and I wasn't quite sure how I'd care for the mesh over time. It's nice. I like it. I don't find it to be too firm or scratchy. It's fairly soft and comfortable. Now, there's some aspects of this chair I really like. They might seem small, but they were important to me. I like that you can adjust the armrests in a number of ways, but it's not too easy to make the adjustments. I have another chair at home where you just barely tap the armrest and it moves it from side to side, and that annoys me. I also really like the lumbar support. What I like best about it is that it's springy. It just doesn't feel like there's a rock in your lower back. As you shift and adjust in the chair, the support adjusts as well, providing an even pressured support. I mentioned earlier there was one aspect I felt could have been described better. The entire back can be raised and lowered, but it really doesn't tell you how to do it. For a while, I was raising the back and it would just fall right back down. I was searching for a latch or something like that that would hold it in place, but I couldn't find anything. After a bit, I realized that if you raised it fast, it would just fall right back down. But if you lifted it slowly, you could feel that there were a number of click points. And if you stopped after one of the click points, then it would stay there. It works well once you realize how to do it. It just took me a while to figure that out. Now, as an added feature, you can purchase this footrest. I will say that this is absolutely my favorite part of this chair. When it's not being used, it folds nicely under the seat, but I use it a great deal. I tend to have a box or something like that under my desk so I can raise my legs, but that's no longer needed. And this is significantly more comfortable. I was worried that the footrest would feel flimsy when it was extended, but the two metal bars are very thick and it feels very solid. We'll see how it handles over time and how it holds up. But right now, I'm loving it. I typically lean far back in my chair, but with this new one, I kind of find myself sitting more upright, which I know is a little bit more ergonomic. Now, the best place to find this chair is directly on the OdinLake website. I'll put a link to it in the notes below. If you use the discount code Figboot, you will receive 12% off of your purchase, which is nice. The Ergo Plus 743 is $799, and the footrest, which I highly recommend, is like an additional $70. So if you use the discount code, then it would take off over $100 of the price, so the footrest would be more than free, which is nice. And that discount code works for just about all of the chairs on the site, not just this one. Now, going back to a question I posed at the beginning of this review, I wondered if spending a little bit more for a chair was worth the additional expense, and I have to say for me, with this specific chair, it was. It's very much made with quality parts. You don't feel like there was any corners cut or that they made the chair with the cheapest materials possible. It's just really solid. It gave me more of a premium feeling over chairs I normally get, which are around half the cost. I look forward to getting a lot of use out of this chair for a long time. Thanks go out to the good folks at OdinLake for providing this chair for review. At the end of each year, I typically put out a video of my favorite things I've acquired over the past year in regard to fountain pens, stationery, and office type items. You can pretty much be assured that this chair is going to be included on that list. I really like it a lot. Okay, I hope you enjoyed hearing me talk about something a little bit different. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.